going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today we are reviewing 47 Meters Down, Uncaged. So 47 Meters Down, Uncaged is the sequel that nobody was asking for, and it is once again directed by Johannes Roberts, the director of the original 47 Meters Down from 2017. That was a lot. Now I'm gonna try to say these names. I'm going to try my best. It stars Sophie Nélisse, Sistine Stallone, Corinne Fox, and Brianne Chu. I don't know if I said that last name correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't, but I doubt you're even watching this video. And it tells the story of 4 girls who go scuba diving in some ancient Mayan ruins and become trapped down there with a bunch of sharks, except this time, the sharks are blind. And now we have ourselves a survival movie. Jumping right into my positives, this movie has some tension and some scary ideas. There are a couple scenes in this movie that actually do build pretty good tension, and I did find myself enjoying those scenes for the most part. And there are some really scary ideas. No spoilers, but there is one scene where there are some currents that suck you down really deep into the ocean floor, and that's a terrifying idea. There's this shot, I'm not gonna say who, I'm not gonna say what causes it, but there's this one shot of one of the girls getting sucked down deep into that abyss, and that was terrifying. Because just imagine, you're already really deep in these Mayan ruins, you are trapped, and then you come across just this deep hole, just this deep black dark hole. It just sucks you down. Isn't that a terrifying thought? Not just that either, I love sharks, but oh my gosh, they are terrifying. Do you remember that shot in the original 47 Meters Down where it was pitch black around the girls and they lit the flare, and then when the flare turned on there were 3 sharks right here with their mouths open? That was terrifying. Also, I am a bit claustrophobic myself, so just the thought of being trapped in these little tunnels and spaces like this big and trying to get away from sharks is terrifying to me. Positive number 2, the final 10 minutes. The final 10 minutes of this movie are gold, and I mean gold. They were so thrilling, so entertaining, so suspenseful, very well crafted too, because the majority of this movie is actually very poorly crafted, but I don't know what it was. Those final 10 minutes were very well crafted. It was a very satisfying ending. Unlike the original 47 Meters Down, I found that ending to be a little bit lazy. Not necessarily lazy, but I feel like they could have gone further with it. Maybe done something that was a little bit more sad. I'm not gonna spoil how that movie ended, but the way it ended was just I didn't care before, and now there's no point in me caring at all, so it was kind of a wasted opportunity. But no, the ending of this movie is fantastic, and it is way better than the ending of the original. And this next thing isn't really positive, so I'm not going to list it as one, but I can respect Johannes Roberts' passion to make this movie, because as you know, the original 47 Meters Down was going to be straight to VOD, and at times it did feel like you were watching a straight to VOD movie. But you know what? He made it. Nobody was asking for this sequel to that movie, plus this movie isn't related to the last one at all. It's just kind of a brand. It's 47 Meters Down is the brand. The original film gathered a cult following, so people who liked that film are going to see this film because it has the title 47 Meters Down. It's not really necessary though, because I feel like people will go to see any shark movie that comes out. For example, The Shallows. Nobody expected that movie to be good. People still went and see it, and guess what? It was good. Back to what I was saying, I can respect that he wanted to make this movie. This is a movie he wanted to make, and you know what? No matter all the things that people were saying, no matter how much people didn't want this sequel, he made it because he wanted to. And I can respect that. Unfortunately, it is time to get into my negatives. Negative number 1, the characters. The characters in the last film weren't anything to praise, but the characters in this film are just cardboard cutouts that are only there. Their sole purpose is to get eaten. That is their only purpose. You don't care about these characters at all. They try to hammer in this message about loving each other and sticking together in harsh situations. It doesn't pay off at all because you don't care about them. This entire movie, I was rooting for the sharks. I was eat her. Am I coming off as creepy? I hope I'm not coming off as creepy, but it's true. Throughout this entire movie, they make the dumbest decisions. Again, no spoilers, but there was a scene where they find a way to get out, and then they're trying to get out, and then when they realize, oh crap, the sharks followed us, they start just going completely crazy, jumping back into the water, splashing around and screaming, and I'm just what are you doing? It's common sense that when there are sharks around you, especially sharks that have evolved and are blind, who heavily rely on sound, why would you jump back into the water knowing that and then just start thrashing your limbs all over the place when you were already about to get out of there? And not just that scene, like I said, throughout the entire movie, stupid decision after stupid decision after stupid decision. Negative number 2, the time filling scenes. Now, bear with me on this one. This one's kind of hard to explain. Well, not really, I guess. Let me explain it. There are scenes in this movie that are just meant to fill up the runtime. There are scenes that are dragged on for way too long, and I mean way too long. And you can tell it's there just to fill up the runtime. This movie is only an hour and 20 minutes long, including credits. So in the end, it didn't really pay off anyway, but you could tell that they were trying to fill up that runtime with montages of these girls just like jumping off cliffs and falling into the water before all the crazy stuff is happening, just swimming around. A lot of it is put into slow-mo, just stretching that runtime because we gotta get it into theaters. It's gotta be feature length, so just stretch that runtime with montages of a bunch of attractive people just jumping into water in slow motion. Negative number 3, the implausibilities. Now, I did do some research here, okay, so don't bash me. These girls, the entire movie, are communicating to each other. Now, in the last movie, the girls had these goggles that also went around their ears, and they had a communication system for diving, so they could talk to each other underwater and they could hear each other. In this movie, it's literally like those goggle sets that you buy at Walmart. It's a little bit more upscale than that, but it's basically the same thing. It covers their ears, and the mask stops right here, and they show close-ups of the ears. These girls are talking to each other underwater, way below 47 meters. They're probably like 60 meters down or something like that, and they can hear each other perfectly with 60 meters of water. Like, all that pressure around their ears, and they can hear each other perfectly underwater. No earpieces, like I said, they showed close-ups of the ears, no earpieces, nothing like that. They can hear each other perfectly under 60 meters of water in collapsed ancient Mayan ruins. Because that's possible. Negative number 4, this movie takes itself way too seriously. I mean, like, way too seriously. A movie like this shouldn't be taken 100% seriously, but there are so many scenes where you can tell the director just, like, really wants you to be scared and really wants you to feel for these characters and really wants you to feel like you want to get these people out of the situation, but you just don't. And there's so many serious moments where people are like, we gotta get out of here. Oh my gosh, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. And you're just sitting there like, yeah, can the shark just eat you already? Just shut up and get off the screen. And in a movie with this many stupid decisions, I can't take it seriously. Negative number 5, the CGI. Now, again, I'm not one of those people who's just like, all CGI is terrible, no CGI, everything must be practical, all actors must risk their lives. No, that's not how I am. But if you're going to do CGI, and if you're gonna show the entire CGI creation, at least try to make it look good. The sharks in this movie, with the exception of a couple scenes, look atrocious, and I mean atrocious. It's not quite Sharknado level, but it's definitely up there. There's so many moments when these girls swim into a cave to escape the shark, and the shark is too big to fit into it, so it goes up and it starts trying to bite into the cave to get the girls out, and it just looks so fake. The rocks crumbling off of it from the pressure of the shark, none of it looked real at all. I was at no point convinced that there was a shark there. However, because I do try to be as positive as I can, I do try to give an accurate review though. I'm not gonna lie, there are some scenes in this movie where the sharks looked very real, and I mean very, very real. And I think that's why the CGI is just so noticeable, because throughout the movie there are certain moments where the sharks look extremely real, so when they are not done well in CGI, it is extremely easy to tell. Something that I feel like people didn't talk about with the last movie enough was how good the sharks looked. The sharks in that movie looked very, very real. I believed that there were sharks there. In this movie, nope. Stripped away. Negative number 6, the jump scares. This movie's tension factor is like 90% jump scares. The other 10% was that some good tension that I mentioned in my positives. But 90% of this movie's scare factor is the jump scares. And even some false jump scares. There's a scene where a girl is all alone in these ruins, and she's just like swimming around calling her friend's name. And then there's like this huge burst of music, and it just turns out to be her friend, but like her friend taps her shoulder and the music goes dun, and I'm just like, what? There's no point in that. And even when the jump scares aren't false, it's still annoying because this movie, like I said, most of this movie's scare factor is just relying on jump scares. Jump scares are gonna make you jump, but after it's over, there's no tension. It's just like, oh, there's the shark, and I actually like the shark because there's gotta be something I can root for in this movie, and I want those sharks to eat those girls, so when the shark shows up, it's not scary, you're actually happy that they're there. Negative number 7, the performances. The performances in the previous movie I actually thought were very good, even though some people thought they were really bad. I thought that it was well done. The performances in this movie, however, wow. Who casted this movie? I know Johannes Roberts had to be behind that casting table, and it was partially his decision. Who was the casting director? I want to know that. I don't have the energy to look it up, so just if you know, just tell me in the comments. But the acting in this movie is so bad. When they need to just be acting like normal people, they're very monotone, just like, hey, do you want to go diving? Yay, let's go diving. We're gonna go into the Mayan ruins, and it's gonna be so cool. And then when they're supposed to be scared, they go like way over the top. Like they're so melodramatic, they're like, we're gonna die, we're gonna die. Oh my god, it's so bad, we're gonna die. Shut up, oh my gosh. You're just making me hate you even more. This is not a personal attack on the actresses themselves. I'm sure that some of them are actually really talented. In fact, one of them, I think, Sistine Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's daughter, she's given good performances before. Not in this movie though. Negative number 8, the editing. This movie is edited so badly, and I mean so badly. There are so many scenes that could have been so much more suspenseful if the editor was doing his job right, or her, I don't know. If the editor was doing their job right. And I'm not saying that I'm like a professional editor, but there's just a standard that most filmmakers know when it comes to editing. If you cut too soon, it's not going to be scary. If you cut too late, it's going to come off as comedic. It's just general knowledge that most people know. Most filmmakers, and movie critics, and movie buffs, and movie enthusiasts. But apparently not the editor for this movie, because, like I said, so many scenes where the tension is just completely eliminated because they cut too soon, or they cut too late. I couldn't help but notice how badly edited the movie was, and I can't really explain much more. You just gotta go see it if you actually want to, and observe for yourself how atrocious the editing is. Well, that wraps up my positives and negatives for 47 Meters Down Uncaged, and after watching it in the theater last night, I feel extremely comfortable giving this movie a 3 out of 10, which brings us to an F on the grading scale. Here's one thing I want to tell you about this movie though. I wanted these characters to get eaten so much that when characters did get eaten, it was so entertaining, and I know that comes off as like super weird and super creepy, but can you really blame me? In a movie where you hate these people so much and they're sharks, you're just like, please, sharks, get these people off the screen, please. When it comes to movies that are so bad that they're good, this is like a 10 out of 10 on that scale. In fact, let's make that a scale. This movie is so bad that it's good, and on the so bad that it's good scale, it gets a 10 out of 10 A+. So that wraps up my review for 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Comment below and let me know what you thought. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It really does mean a lot. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep writing, keep shooting, and keep editing.